Hello there, Chaz here. Unfortunately, I do not have my fiber optic yet, which has bummed me out a little bit. I'm probably not going to see anything until the 19th of February, if that, because BT are unpredictable as fuck, and they didn't warn me about the delays until after the day I was supposed to be getting it. So, you know, that was fun. Anyways, where was I? Let me just get back to the main menu. This is Besiege. By Spiderling Games. It's currently very early alpha, version 0.02, but the mechanics are really solid, and it's a really enjoyable game so far. They just need to start working on more islands, and also they have a moon here that we can do medieval stuff on. That's pretty cool. So Besiege is basically a medieval siege machine builder, kind of simulator deal. I can hold right click and rotate the planet like that. Ypsilon is the first of the places that we can go to. As you can see here, it's just a tiny island. These red flags are areas that I've already conquered. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with Southern Cottage, just to give you an idea of how this game works out. This is one that I made earlier. Let me just go ahead and destroy that. So the game gives you tutorials on how to build stuff. I've already gone through this, but I'll just close that and build something on my own just to show you. The game's building mechanics sort of handle like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts or Kerbal Space Program. Speaking of, I actually really enjoyed Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I know people didn't like it because it didn't have, it wasn't a Banjo-Kazooie game per se, but the game itself was hella solid. Just saying. I have no idea why I said hella solid. I feel really weird. Okay, so this is just a basic machine that they tell you to make in the tutorial, roughly speaking. It's just a little wheeled ram machine, I guess. I'm going to fancy it up a little bit, because I can do that. There's like all these different powered bits and pieces I can use. Let me put I'm going to put a wooden block up here. And then I'm going to make... Actually, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wooden block over here, and then give myself pistons. Pistons, you press H to extend. Let's see if I did that right. I better make sure. I want to connect each one to the face of the previous one. And then if I've done that right, let me just get the metal spike. Here we go. Let's stick a metal spike on there. So now, if I set this machine on the ground, I don't have to do that, but it does prevent the machine from like horribly breaking itself later. Okay, it's a little bit front heavy, but if I press H, boing. So yeah, this is my stabby machine. Oops. I keep forgetting that it's the arrow keys that are usually used for controls. WASD controls the camera. Okay, so I'm just gonna poke. Oop, not quite. Poke. Nope. Poke. There we go. This game is ridiculous. Normally you would just build like a basic ram and then like slam into the building. Oops, I lost stuff. I love the way things break, and yeah, you can still control them. So now that I've done that, I'm going to do this mission again. Actually, I'm going to take a different mission. Let's get back to level select here. I'm going to pick... what should I pick? Southern Mill has some more stuff to break. The Queen's Fodder is a fairly good one. I'm never really good at that because you have to kill a lot of dudes. So I'll try the old mining site. Let me just load up a machine that I built earlier. Let's see. Well, the one that you saw at the start of the video was this one, Stabs a Lot, which is basically just a big sword on a piston spring, so that I can do, if there's an incline, I have the height advantage, so I can do this. Poke! Oh god, I love doing that. Let's start that again, load a different machine. I'm particularly fond of both barrels. This is basically my medieval shotgun. And the if I spin this around, I actually have a piston here that I've rebound to key G, because I have key H bound to these pistons here. You can see the sword ones. So that is for cutting a swath through the enemy. And this one is just as a steering device so that I can like accelerate as quickly as possible. Oh god, I did a wheelie. Let's just reload that. So if I like hold this down and steer. But the main feature you'll probably have seen are these two cannons on the top. Let me just steer and aim. And I believe I bound them to X and C. Nope, I bound them to C and V. As you can see, the force of the cannons is so much it just basically rips that part off of the build, or yeah, off of the siege engine. Except then, how about that? But usually, let's see, boom, boom, there we go. And then suddenly this is a little bit more mobile, and then I can just use the swords to finish off anything else. So, yeah, I like this game. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to the main menu and go into sandbox mode, where there's a bunch of different things I can mess about with. I'm going to load another of my machines, the Chaz Mark II. This is a catapult that I've been trying to like refine the design of. Normally in sandbox mode you don't have the same bounding box that you have in story mode, but I like to turn on the bounding box so that I can make sure that whatever I make is basically usable in a session of the game. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this and aim it roughly towards that building over there. This spiky thing here is a bomb, and so I'm going to be launching this bomb at that building over there. So if I do this right, this uses contractible springs which are activated by pressing L. BAM! Look at that! Oh! Now, what you might notice right now are that there's a bunch of names like scrolling along the bottom of the screen there. These are all people that I've killed. They all have full names, and the game tells you how you killed them. And I think that's really a fun way of doing it. I thought that was pretty funny. So I can see here, there's Robert Chudderley, who has died from full body burns. Pretty much everybody died from full body burns with that explosion. Percival Gomfrey, I believe. Gilbert Lister. Also, there's a sheep over there, and he's getting dangerously close to those bombs. Thankfully, the sheep and the chickens don't have names, so I don't feel bad for, you know, if oh god, if a sheep was called Percival and I blew it up, I would be, you know, I would just be despondent. I would be so guilty. But that sheep over there, usually I see an explosion in the distance, and there's that bloody sheep walking into a bomb. Hadn't happened that time. Let's just try launching this over here again. Boom! That was fun. Let's bring up one of my other machines, just as a little thing to finish us off. The first Chaz wasn't quite as stable, so I'm not going to load that one. Medieval Derringer is a favourite of mine. This one is fairly stable. It doesn't move too fast, but I use the number pad to aim these two cannons, which are fired independently of one another, quite like both barrels. So I can just like line up my shots, and the cannons themselves are hooked up to these suspension blocks, which I suppose you would normally use for suspension wheels, but I find they're really good recoil dampers, so that I don't like freaking tip over firing a cannon, or you know, what I did with both barrels, where it like breaks off the shots. Ooh, there's a village over there. Actually, why turn around? Why can't I just turn around the cannons? Let's see here. Didn't quite go to plan. I was hoping to kill at least one of the villagers over there. Come on in. Come on in. I hit a tree. Ah, there we go. That's more like it. Fabian Gomfrey. Ladislas Cheeseman. Ralph Pratt. Boran Chauncey. And Milo Lister all died from full body burns. So I think that's a good place for me to wrap up. That's 10 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. This game is actually really fun, and it's only £5 on Steam right now. I got this gifted by a friend, Lizard Wizard. I think I mentioned that already, although that might have been in a previous recording. I ended up gifting this to my friend Rabid because I like this game so much. I'm looking forward to seeing where this game goes, and I hope that by doing this video I've sort of raised some awareness of how ridiculous and amazing this game is. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.